After you've created a publication in Publisher, you may want to merge it with a mailing list for distribution. In this lesson, I'm going to show you how to attach a distribution list to your publication and then distribute it either through printing or as a separate publication. As you can see, we're already in Publisher. The first thing we need to do is select mailings from the ribbon and then select recipients. And I'm going to use an existing list, but we could type a new list. Search for your list. Ours is an Excel file called vendor list, and I need to select the sheet that has the recipients on it. This is a very simple example. All we have is our first name, last name, company name, city, and state. If I wanted to edit this list, I can do so by selecting the list and then edit. In this case, I'm going to change Lisa to Beth. I could also add a new entry if I wanted to do so. I'm also going to correct clear revision and fix Maria's name. For some reason, she has a 2 at the end of her name. We'll select OK. And then we're prompted. Do we really want to make these changes? Yes, we do. Once you have your recipient list selected, you can then add in the merge fields, and we simply start adding in those fields. I'm just going to select the company name and the first and last name. I'll move that up. That's really hard to see. Let's make it a little bit bigger and make some adjustments. Perfect. One of the really cool things that you can do in Publisher is preview the results first. Let's select Preview, and we notice that everything is running together. Let's fix this. I'm simply going to move the first name and last name to a new line and add a space that looks a little bit better. Perfect. Once you're happy with the layout, you can now select Finish and Merge. And the first thing we're going to do is merge this to a printer. And we can see if we were to print this right now, we'd have 6 sheets. But you can modify this if you wish. You can specify only certain records to be printed. We can also change the number of pages per sheet. Here you'll notice that we can change it to a booklet. We can do multiple copies per sheet if we wanted to do so. There's many options. I'm going to go back to 1 page per sheet. And you'll notice that this looks a little bit off because as soon as I started making those adjustments, some of the other options changed. As we can see here, for example, our paper source changed. I'm going to go back up and change that back to a letter, and that looks about right. I'm not going to print this at this time. We're going to go back, and I'm going to show you merge to a new publication here. This will create a whole new document. In my example, I have some fonts that are not available. I'm just going to go ahead and click OK. The new publication now has each of those pages within it. You can now save as publication. There's one last thing I want to point out here. I'm going to return to the original publication. If I save this now, what will happen is that recipient list will be attached to this publication. If you'd like to clear that, go back up to Select Recipients and then Cancel Merge. This will remove all the merged recipients, but leave the fields and you could delete those later. For more tips, tricks, and publisher help, refer to the Publisher Help page.